Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away, and now I'm gone, I'm here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Listen, the Beatles. I've really enjoyed my journey with the Beatles. They have given me so many great moments on this channel in such a short period of time. But they're the Beatles. I expect nothing less. I expected nothing less. But I'm really excited to get into this because this is called Revolution. I don't know. Anytime I just say that word, hear that word, see that word, I get excited. I don't know what they'll be referring to. We'll find out in a minute. I'm just excited to see or hear what revolution they're talking about or what they are referring to. We'll do the song research afterwards so I don't make a complete idiot. I can't even say the phrase right. I won't make a complete ass out of myself, which I just did and always do. But we'll do the research afterwards so we can get the full context, because I'm probably not going to catch it on the first listen, but we'll do that afterwards. But let's go. Oh, okay.
You say you want a revolution. Well, you know, we all want to change the world. You tell me that it's evolution. Well, you know, we all want to change the world. But when you talk about destruction, don't you know that you can count me out? Don't you know it's gonna be alright? Alright. Alright.
So he said, if there's gonna be destruction, you can count me out. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but y'all give me the revolution that didn't require just a little bit of destruction. Not tear down, like, I'm not speaking from a sense of a physical standpoint of like, well, even sometimes you do got to go out here and get a little rough and rugged for people to kind of get the point. But like, I don't know. I just don't know of a successful revolution that didn't require just a little bit of destruction, whether literally, figuratively. Something has to get destroyed in order for the message to be conveyed properly. At least that's how I've always learned of a proper revolution. Of course, I know I'm probably taking his words too literal, but Lennon's on guitar, right? That guitar is, I don't think I've heard a guitar pitched and toned like that in a very long time, and it's very refreshing. It's definitely still in the show for me. That's the way it came on, the way it started. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I love the guitar on this.
You say you got a real solution. Well, you know, we'd all love to see the plan. You asked me for a contribution. Well, you know, we all do what we can. But if you want money for people with minds that hate, all I can tell you is, brother, you have to wait. You know it's gonna be alright. Alright. Alright.
Boy George. Is that... No, because George... Hold on. Who is that on piano or keyboards? That might be... We'll find out. But I like the way that came in. And it sounds like they're about to get a solo.
Constitution, well, you know, we all want to change your head. You tell me it's the institution, well, you know, you better free your mind instead. But if you go carrying pictures of Chairman Mao, you ain't gonna make it with anyone anyhow. Don't you know it's gonna be alright? Alright. 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 Alright.
Yeah, that last minute was that instrumentation. Yeah, that was different right there. Oof, boy. Let me see something. So it didn't sound like they were referring to any specific revolution at all. This was definitely just in general. Oh, it's another version to this song? It says Revolution 1. Written by John Lennon, credited to the Lennon and McCartney partnership. 3 versions of the song were recorded and released in 1968, all during sessions for the Beatles' self-titled album, double album, also known as the White Album. A slow bluesy arrangement, Revolution 1, included on the album, an abstract sound collage titled Revolution 9 that originated as the latter part of Revolution 1 and appears on the same album, and the faster hard rock version similar to Revolution 1, released as the B-side of Hey Jude. Although the single version was issued first, it was recorded several weeks after Revolution 1, intended for release as a single. A promotional video for the song was shot using the musical backtrack from the hard rock version, along with live sung lyrics that will more closely resemble the Revolution 1 version. Gotcha. And that's by the way, that's the reason why I don't react to a lot of the music videos for the Beatles no more. I notice I have just a better chance of getting the video up on YouTube if I don't do the video. Again, I don't know how it is. I know sometimes other channels can do it, and I don't know how YouTube picks who can and who can't, but you know. Anyway, inspired by political protests in early 1968, Lennon's lyrics expressed sympathy with the need for social change, but doubt in regard to the violent tactic espoused by some members of the New Left. So yeah, the main riots and protests that I know of in '68 is right after the MLK and RFK assassinations. So I'm assuming that's what he said. It said early '68. I know King died early, April. So, um, again, I understand that the violent approach is, it doesn't solve anything. Let me start by saying that. I don't think burning a building solves anything. So I just want to kind of throw that out there. But I do feel as though, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Maybe that's just the problem, something in my lifetime that I've just noticed. But people kind of take people take advantage of your generosity. People almost look down on people who have a more calm and respectable approach. For whatever reason, people respect when you get a little rowdy, when you're willing to break shit. And you could take it away from like political stances. You could just, in my own personal life, like if I tell somebody in my family, look, this is hurting my feelings and I don't like that, I won't really see change behavior until I cuss them out. And again, I don't know why that is. I don't know why people prefer things to like get like violent and like destructive before they get the picture. But for a lot of people, that's the case. You gotta break something in order to get your point across. Again, and breaking it is not what solves it, but for whatever reason, people listen when you're willing to break shit. But I agree that the violent approach, and I do know a lot of murders took place after the assassination of MLK and RFK. So that I don't support and I don't agree with at all. Despite his bandmates' reservations, he persevered with the song persevered with the song, and insisted it be included on their next single. When released in August, the song was viewed by the political left as a betrayal of their cause and a sign that the Beatles were out of step with radical elements of the counterculture. Lennon was stung by the criticism he received from the New Left and subsequently espoused the need for Marxist revolution, particularly with his 1971 single Power to the People. However, in one of the final interviews he gave before his death in 1980, he reaffirmed the pacifist sentiments expressed in Revolution. It reached number 12 on the Hot 100, top singles charts in Australia and New Zealand, filmed a promotional clip, received high praise from music critics. In early 1968, media coverage in the aftermath of the Tet Offensive spurred increased protests and opposition to the Vietnam War, especially among university students. The protests were most prevalent in the United States, and on March 17th, 25,000 demonstrators marched to the American Embassy in London's Grosvenor Square and violently clashed with police. Major protests concerning other political issues made international news, such as the March 1968 protests in Poland against their communist government and the campus uprisings of May 1968 in France. By and large, the Beatles had avoided publicly expressing their political views in their music, with Taxman being their only overtly political track thus far. I want to hear that. Taxman. Lennon began writing the song there and completed it in England in May, inspired especially by events in France. Okay. So I'm all wrong. I thought it was, and again, stupid of me to think that he was talking about the MLK stuff. But I do remember the campus uprisings in '68. Damn, now that I think about it, the '60s did have. I mean, you know what? When I really sit back and think about it, I really think this era and this generation is crazy. But when you really think about it, with the exception of 9/11, and of course we've had terrible mass shootings, that probably more so than anything else in this generation has increased as opposed to previous generations. But when you just think about political uprisings, assassinations, like the '60s was the wild, wild west. Now that I really sit here and think about it, that is crazy. But yeah, I don't know why he was talking about MLK. But anyway, it's a great song. Do I agree with everything? Probably not. If I were, I can't put myself back in those times, but the fact that people felt as though the Beatles were betraying them, and in some way, shape, or form, they were known to be a voice for the New Left, and the New Left then considered them, traitors. Even though he clearly says he supports social change, he just don't believe in all of the tactics, and I don't think there was anything wrong with that. But of course, with such sensitive topics, the second you disagree with anybody on anything, that's why I really don't like talking about politics with a lot of people, especially not with rationally thinking people or people who could put themselves outside of a perspective of their own. I don't like talking about politics because it's just too sensitive of a topic for a lot of people. So I feel bad that they had to deal with that, and that probably heightened their reasoning for not doing a lot of social commentary, art, and speaking on what was going on. I do want to hear Taxman though. That name alone, I'm really excited to hear that. But great song, great instrumentation. I really enjoyed it. And I can't wait to hear more from the Beatles, man. I always learn a lot when I react to them. So I can't wait to hear more and learn more. So request and recommend it, and I'm going to check it out, all right? But as always, like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate y'all for watching. Until next time with the Beatles, peace.